Nikita had been traveling for several months now. Her mission? To help endangered animals around the world. Nikita was a bit of an enthusiast when it came to saving endangered species. Both supernatural and natural white tigers had entered not just the endangered list, but the almost extinct list. There wasn't much she could do about the supernatural ones, but she could help save the natural ones. She ran an endangered wildlife organization out of Mission, British Columbia, and she was on her last few days of being in India. She had traveled to China, Korea, Russia, Asia, and Indonesia to find some of the tigers. Some were injured or not in good health. She aided them back to health before leaving the regions to finally make her way to India. Between the kids that her Uncle Dane had and her Aunt Olivia had, she was the last unmarried one. Her sister Sage had gotten hitched 3 years ago to an insurance agent. Her new brother-in-law was a typical run-of-the-mill human who was madly in love with her sister. He had no problems accepting her animal side, and she appreciated that about him. He was one of the few humans to marry into their family. On her travels, she glanced at the family book that her cousin Theodore had made for the entire family. She had learned that their longtime friend and family doctor, Fang Alder, was now a part of their family. He had gotten married to Artemis, which was completely out of left field. Many knew Artemis was the High Virgin of Olympus. When she had called home to get details, her father had explained the prophecy to her. She did envy the majority of her family and how they met their partners. At 40, she thought she'd be spending her adventurous life with someone. Unfortunately, her last relationship didn't fan out when one of the pythons she was rehabilitating had almost squeezed her partner to death. He was a lynx shifter, but even he was no match for a hungry python. Her job tended to keep potential suitors away from her. She was just glad her parents weren't the drop the job, settle down and have kids type. Her parents were all for accepting who their children wanted to be. Her father did scold her from time to time when her exes showed up in his ER room. Her father had become Fang Elder's number 2 supernatural doctor after the fall of GSB, Government of Supernatural Law. Thanks to her Uncle Dane, the GSB no longer existed. Aside from not having a lifelong partner, Nikita was fine with her life. Her job allowed her to travel and help animals. As far as she was concerned, animals were her life.